Damn right. Now, let's say that we're, by the way, let's say we're doing a wedding, okay? But I typed too quickly. Do you see what I wrote? Yeah. I typed, so it came out weeding. So I hit that. Do you think people type in something, when they're looking for something for wedding, do you think they type in weeding sometimes? Yeah. Well, let's find out. Let's find out. So let's see. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it again. Must be a lot of terms. So, oh, no, it's got the green bars going. See that down there? That means he's working. Chunk, chunk, chunk. Yeah, I guess it is. It's got a lot. All right. So there it is. All right. Who's the man? That's right. All right, now. Wait a minute. I got to go for the creme de la creme. All right. So now you can see weeding dress, weeding crasher, and by the way, now look, pay attention. You're going to miss it. I'm going to go. I'm going to do it once. That's it. I'm going to click on weeding song because I sell CDs on weeding song. That's my market. Now look at this. Watch when I click this. Watch the results. What do you think? How many people look for, let's see, weeding song, let's see. Wait a minute. It'll just bring me, no, I should bring you here. Sorry, that's the wrong page. By the way, this is what I want to show you. What do you think the bid is for wedding song? Wait a minute. Let's see what do you think? Guess some numbers. What do you think it is? Okay, it's 19 cents, right? Now, so what if I change wedding to weeding?
Yeah, no, 10 because it's
no.
Zero. Oh, that does. That makes you number one.
It's rodeo time. You know, I mean, wait a minute. There are currently no bids. Let me tell you, if you have anything to do with wedding and you bid on wedding songs knowing damn well you want wedding songs, you'll be on the first page in the first position. And what did I guarantee you? The only one. Tell me I didn't fulfill my promise. Is that it? Yeah. That's it. By the way, if you're not getting it, I would bid this all day. So what I do is I find terms that are misspelled, right, or mistyped, and I bid them. So if somebody doesn't know how to spell Hispanic or Latino, do I take advantage of that? By the way, should we take advantage of a guy's fat fingers?
Yes.
Damn right we should. Can I show you one more tool? One more tool. No. I'll take these questions. Let me take this one.
The one thing, like, that's good and all, but when I misspell something, when I search it, right at the top though, it gives you the spell check. I never look at the links below it. Like,
right.
I'll look.
But by the way, see, this is the perfect problem. It's like when you type. I'm saying this nightly with all respect. I don't care what you think. The fact that people are typing these words in, it's what they're typing in. Yes. Do you know what I mean? I mean, that's how we got to think as marketers, that we got to take advantage. The fact that people are mistyping, nobody's correcting them, I'm getting their traffic. Huh? By the way, they won't know if that's a mistyped word. It could be, I'm in the 60s child. I was smoking dope. I was singing. You know what I mean? Certain things may not. You know what I mean? The autocorrector may not be on there. What I'm saying is look for those words. All right, real quick, my man.
These are 10 cents or these are free?
These are 10 cents. Minimum bid is 10 cents. Okay? You are paying the 10 cents, right, for each click. You're paying 10 cents. Now, by the way, you're not going to get all the traffic. What happens, let's say there's 1,000 people looking for it, right? You're going to be at the top. Not everybody's going to click you, okay? But what might happen is you'll get a percentage of those clicks, right? And then every time you pay 10 cents. But if you notice in your traffic, that every time 100 people come to your site, so many buy, right? Remember that conversion rate we talked about? Yeah. Well, that conversion rate is going to tell you how much each click should cost you. Do you get it? That's how you need to know those numbers. And that's another class. But you know what I mean? I mean, those are the things you need to know. But what I'm trying to show you here is that you can use the pay-per-click search engines, go home and study them. And by the way, you sign up for this, it takes 3 days to register. And as soon as you bid to be number one and you want some of that traffic, whatever that traffic is, it's yours. You can start driving traffic to your site after 3 days. And you can, by the way, who controls the budget? You can put maximum. I don't want to spend more than 30 bucks. So if you exceed 30 bucks, stop there, okay? Question? Yep.
Do you yourself have any?
Me? I have over 250 search terms for my pay-per-clicks. And my budget a month is about 60 to 70 bucks. I mean, add the numbers up. I'm not spending a lot of money. You look at my hosting, everything else, I'm not spending a lot of money on internet marketing. That's why when I get gigs between 57 and 75, or 45 when I feel like that, it counts. Do you know what I mean? It's not that big because I know what one sale is worth to me. That's what I think. What is one sale worth to me? And that's what I bid. Okay? Who else? We done?
Yeah.
Did you like this? Yeah. I got more. You want more? No. By the way, I'm going to show you the last trick. For those of you who probably said, Victor, okay, I like what you showed me. I like the material, like the website, blah, 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 blah. Every excuse that this little voice back here is saying, but now I know what you're going to say. I don't have a computer, right? Right? Because you're going to say that. Somebody. Who's thinking that? Who's thinking that? Who's thinking that? Don't raise your hand. I'm going to show you how you can get a cheap computer. If not almost for free. You ready?
Yes.
Watch and learn. Ready? You ready? And that's it, I'm done. Because the fact that I did this for free, you should feel ashamed of yourself. All of you. By the way, I'm going to be bold here. You should buy at least a book. That's all I'm asking. You should buy at least a book. All right. By the way, Fat Fingers. Fatfingers.com. You heard this? Fat Fingers where people can't type. Now, what you do, here's what's cool about this thing. You type in a common word like computer. All right? And then it will go into eBay or other places, but just eBay mostly. It'll go into eBay, and then it'll tell you how all these words, hold on, I got a blocker here, so I got to get past the blocker. It'll go into eBay and show me how often these words are misspelled. Now, I want you to listen to what I'm about to say closely. Over 75% of all bids on eBay close without anybody bidding on them. Wow. 75. So now, why? Because a lot of people can't spell. Because what they do is they put in computer. Apparently that's something that's been in jail. You know, but it's a computer, right? So it's a computer. And what happens is, what are you going to type into eBay when you're looking for the product? Computer also. Because if you're the only one who knows how to misspell it, who else is going to find it? Yeah, Kevin got it. Kevin got it. Like, yeah, I get it. I get it. Because if you're the only one, so you can try a combination of these, like two M's, and if they've misspelled it because they typed in too quickly, nobody's bidding on it. And if they don't have a, a minimum bid, buy it. Yeah. Buy it. I can go in there how you can find, what's that? You'd have to go in there and look at each of these, and I don't want to do that. But if you just try this, go to Fat Fingers, find misspelled words, and then go into eBay and look for stuff, you got stuff that doesn't have minimum bid that you can buy for pennies, man. And by the way, the guy that showed me this, he says, Victor, I'm going to show you how I'm going to buy 4 sets of skis for less than 300 bucks. I said, what? He said, watch. Did this whole thing with me. I was like, and he found one for, it was like 120 bucks for four sets of skis, I think it was. It was because they misspelled the words and they didn't get any bids. But register that number, that the majority of bids on eBay close without anybody ever bidding on them. Isn't that something? Because I know, remember we've been told, what's that? Fatfingers.com. You got it. All right. On that note, I'm going to say thank you. If you don't buy a book, I'll be mad, but I'll still love you. Okay? And no, I want to thank you guys. You guys have been great. Thank you for giving me your Saturday. Great. Thank you guys. You guys have been great. All right, so this part, what I'm going to do is strictly focus on internet marketing, okay? And that's about, let me just start with this basic statement. When I started out in the speaking business, I realized that things are expensive when it comes to marketing. Have you been there? It's very expensive, isn't it? So what I did was, I tried a lot of different things, but the thing that really worked for me was the internet marketing. Getting a lot of feedback. Was the internet marketing. And so what I want to do, it sounds weird, doesn't it? What? Can you guys hear me back there? All right, we'll do it without that. You can hear me, right, Scott? All right, great. So one of the things I found was that internet marketing for me has been a godsend. And what I want to show you today is everything I use to market my business on the internet, because that's where I spend my money. I spent on average about, I'm going to say $170 a month total. That's hosting, shopping carts, everything just to do my business. Yes? Yep. Nope, he's got me. There it is again. So, all right. So what I want to do is I'm going to walk you through the process of internet marketing. But again, like anything else, I have to start out a little slow, right? I got to explain the basics for folks who don't understand anything about websites and so forth. But I promise you that by the time I hit the second half, you'll be glad you stayed, because I got some tools to show you. If you like the first half, you'll like the second half. Get it? Yeah. Good. All right. Does internet marketing really work? Should we answer this question first? All right. So, by the way, these are emails that I receive. And this one is, I found your book, The Logic of Success, What Leaders Do. National Security Agency. I actually did that presentation. That's one of the emails I received. This is another email I get. This one was from the BBC, who was doing some type of reality program, wanted some information on me as a speaker. And I'm just giving you an idea of what I received. This one's interesting. This guy called me from Budapest. Says, Victor, we're launching this multi-level marketing so product. We'd like you to do the mindset of sales success. Can we interview you? They did the interview from Budapest. Okay, found the site, did the interview from Budapest. Then, I thought was great, they sent me the CDs with the MP3 files, the full transcript. Now, stop there for a second. They gave me the MP3. They gave me the graphics for the audio CD, and then they sent me a transcript.
All right.
Is that a product?
Yeah.
Didn't do anything. This is what's been happening in the background. So does internet marketing work? Yes. Just this month alone, I've gotten about 14 to 15 now leads just on speaking this month. And you know what my fee is, right? So if I get 15 or 18, all I got to do is get what? One. That's all I care about, right? And so this to me has been like the crown jewel of my success, because people find me. Now, question I always get, Victor, is, and I'm in Miami, so let me just show you something. And I want you to stare at the screen. Let's say that you're on Google, right? Let's go to Google first, largest search engine. And if you type in, when people want a Hispanic speaker, what are they going to type?
Hispanic speaker.
Thank you for catching that quickly. So I type in there, bam. So who's first? Okay? All right. Now, if you go to altavista.com, let's try the same thing. Hispanic speaker. Number one. Right there. Oh, number two as well. Number three as well.
Nice.
Where's Bert?
Number four as well.
It's all good.
Number five.
Wow.
Five's not me. Six is not me. All right, so you get the idea?
Yeah.
All right. So if you go to Yahoo, it's the same engine, but this is a little different though. So if you do the same thing, Hispanic speaker, this is where the difference. You thought there was the same engine, but it's not. Watch, the results are always different. Out of 1, 2, 3 is mine, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's not me, that's the other Gonzales. There's a lot of Gonzaleses. They actually changed. So I have about maybe 6 out of the top 5 out of the top 10. Okay? So what I want to show you is, I mean, this is what you want, right? You want to be on the first page. If you could be number one, that's even better. If you could put multiple pages on the first page, I'm sure you'll be real happy, right? Given that, do you think I get a lot of traffic?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this is what I want to show you. I design all my websites, all 22 sites I design. I program everything. And the only reason I'm telling you that is, when I teach you this stuff, it's not theory. Okay? This is the stuff that works in internet marketing. And if you want to be successful driving business to your website through internet marketing, I'm about to show you. Is that cool?
Yes.
All right, cool. All right, so 2 things to remember. Write this down. conversion rate. Conversion rate. Conversion rate is the percentage of visitors who buy. So for example, take the test. 100 people come to your site, 10 people buy. What's my conversion rate? 10%. 10%. Okay? Tell me, what's the average conversion rate today on the internet? What do you think it is? 2%. 2%. Okay? Now, average website gets how many visitors per day? What do you think? Average website gets how many visitors per day? 1,000? 10? 500? 2? Bigger than a breadbasket? 10. Now, if a website only gets 10 visitors per day, what do you call that? Yeah, a disaster, right? Because you just spent a lot of money to get 10 people a day, and you probably know half the 10. Probably family members, right? They don't count. They don't count. So what I'm going to try to do is show you strategies for driving traffic to your site so that we're not a victim of that number right there. Let me ask you a question. Is it easy to get excited about the internet? Yeah. It is, right? Because you hear all the commercials, right? If you build your website, build it and they will, right? The whole field of dreams mentality. And a lot of us, what? We buy into it. And because we buy into it, what usually happens? You build your website, you put it up there, and you wait. Right? You wait, right? And the only strategy you have left because you didn't build your website, what's number one strategy for marketing on the internet?
Optimization.
Amount of links. Meta links.
No. Simpler. Write this down. It's the number one strategy for driving traffic to your site. Hope. Hope. You hope people will show up. Because that's all you're going to do. Most people don't know how to drive traffic to your site. I just showed you that the average website gets 10 visitors. So that means the only thing people do is hope that something will happen. You've had that prayer, 3 o'clock in the morning. Lord, if you have some time, I know you're busy, but can you send traffic my way? And so we've all been there, right? So now, what matters when you look at internet marketing? What matters most? Is it the website?
No. Quality. Information.
Marketing.
It is marketing. Any way you cut it, in order to be successful in the internet, it is about marketing. It is about how do you drive that traffic, which translates into what? The only thing that matters, right? Is sales. Right. It's just the conversion. Okay. Internet questions? How many believe the internet has transformed the way you do things over the last 10 years? Right? I'll agree. I know, because I see my wife on the computer. Like I said, 95% of our Christmas shopping last year, just 95% of Christmas shopping last year was done on the internet. Especially in big cities like this. Here, let me walk you through the visual. You get in your car, you're going to go do some shopping. You stick an hour in traffic, right? You're in an hour in traffic. You finally get to the mall. It's too crowded, but you still fight your way through the store. You finally get to the store, but guess what? They don't have what you want. So now you got to get back in your car, another hour, and you're home again. Nothing accomplished. Know the feeling? Yeah. That's why the internet continues to grow. So it's going to be important today, but more importantly, is it going to be important for us for over the next 5, 10 years? Okay, so when we invest in the internet, are we investing in something that's worth doing? Yes. Yes, and that's why if you don't understand why you don't have an internet website today, if you're not getting it, here it is. Today, if you had to invest in a building out here to, let's say, sell shoes, how much do you think it would cost me to rent a place to sell shoes? Give me a number. $4,000 or $5,000 a month. Let's call it $5,000 a month, right? Now, let's say that I also had to stock that store, and I got to sign the lease for about a year, right? So I'm committed. So $4,000 is out. So now let's say I also got to put the back office equipment in there, right? The computers, the systems, and so forth, right? Can I slap another $5,000 just to be safe? And then I got to do what? I got to put what? Inventory. There's where the big cost comes, right? At the end, I put inventory. Now, I'm not going to go into the fact that I got to market this thing. I got to pay the light bill, the gas bill, the telephone bill, and every other bill that has to be paid. So all of a sudden, you're looking at something between a $50,000 and $75,000 investment. Is that a safe number? Yeah. If you look at the total package. Now, if that business, if nobody wants to buy my shoes in that store, what happens? Yeah, I'm done. I'm crying, right? So that's it. I've lost my money. Now, let's move over to the virtual world. How much does it cost to set up a website? $8.95. Right? Whatever it is, $10, right? It's going to be cheap to put up a shopping cart, and Do I have to buy, do I have to have physical inventory? No, right? I can, what, drop ship the inventory, right? If I can do all these things, and let's say a month later or 2 months later, my business isn't going well, how much am I losing? Not much, right? Just the time and effort, and what can I do? Can I now change the product on my website? Yeah. Anytime. Do you see the difference? Yeah. I'm blown away by the fact that people will spend $50,000 to $75,000 to invest in something physical, the brick and mortar. But then, when it comes to doing a virtual site that basically represents the same thing, they're like, well, $1,000, $2,000 for a site is too much. You get it? Do you get it? There's no difference in selling. Because what are we trying to get when we got a brick and mortar? We're trying to drive traffic through our store, right? Yeah. Internet, is it any different? Same thing. So what does this all mean? The internet has basically become the greatest equalizer in the sense that you can now afford to be in business without sacrificing a lot of wealth, or at least risking a lot of wealth. Are you getting what I'm saying here? Because I think people don't understand that the internet today allows you to do things that you couldn't do 5, 10 years ago. Now you can be your own storefront owner. And people are making money on the internet. Because if there's millions of visitors on the internet and you're only getting 10, can we safely assume that somebody else is getting that traffic? Yes. Absolutely. You with me? Yes. All right. Enough. Internet basics. Real quick. A website. If I take a brochure, like this brochure right here, if I take this brochure, everybody knows what a brochure is, right? It sells what? Products or services, right? If I put this brochure on the internet, what does it become? It's a website. That's all it is. Let's not complicate it, okay? So for those of you who are a little technophobic, let's not complicate it. It is a virtual storefront. That's all it is. Now, and domain name, we all familiar, right? Yoursite.com, right? .com means it's a commercial enterprise, a for-profit. .org, non-profit. .net, networking organizations, okay? .biz, business information. .info, information site. Okay? Now, what's hosting? Somewhere in the internet world, there's this big computer that holds all these websites, right? Yeah, I don't want to get technical here, but it's got a bunch of yah-yah stuff on it, right? And in there, they got a bunch of what? Hard drives, right? Your website is parked on that hard drive. That's how people find you. That's hosting. You got to pay for that parking space. If you go downtown, you got a car. You got to pay for a what? A parking space. Parking space is hosting. Okay? Your car is the website. Where you park it is your hosting. Okay, are we all there still? Yeah. Okay, don't complicate this thing. So when somebody says, well, what's my hosting fee? Well, that's where you're parking it every month. Except parking on the internet is a little cheaper than parking in downtown Miami, if you know what I mean. All right, real quick. Internet myths and reality. Every day over 1 million pages are created. Did you know that? Every day.
1 million?
1 million pages. By the way, that doesn't mean websites. Pages. People put material up there. Pages. Okay? You can have a website with multiple pages, right? So people are putting pages up there all the time.
That's worldwide.
Worldwide. Look at net increased use. 10 to 20% year over year. It's growing. It's not getting smaller. Internet shopping, is that growing? Yes. It is growing big time. E-commerce is alive. And when they talked about the bubble bursting, I think we passed that part already. But that was a ridiculous part. That's when people were spending millions and millions of dollars trying to force people to come to their website. But can you force somebody to a website? No. So they were overspending. That's what it meant. You have to spend thousands to get started. I think I showed you this morning that you can get a website for less than what? 10, 15 bucks. Now, you want high-end? That's fine. Get high-end websites. What tool are you going to use for the high-end websites? What website did I give you? What resource did I give you for high-end websites? Elance. You post it up there and say, this is what I want. Remember, you can do anything on Elance. Once you have a website, you can start making money. Can we agree that doesn't happen overnight? It's not like just add water, everything works. Nope. Shopping online is not safe. Today, given the encryption and everything on there, do you feel safer shopping online? Yes. Absolutely. So, and the last one is my favorite, websites don't generate money. And again, it's a misnomer. Another great myth. This is my traffic. I forgot for what month it was, but I want to show you, or it's February 2006. And what you'll see, and you can't see it in the back, but I want to point something out to you. And I always talk about this because there's a lot of people lying out there. Right here's the number of visits, right? And you can't read it, but back there, the total visit is 2,817. It's 2,817. But wait a minute. Look at my hits. 30,677. Wait a minute. I just said I only had 2,800 visits. How could I have 30,000 plus hits? Here's the trick. When somebody says hits, they're lying to you about their traffic, okay? Now write this down. HIT stands for, ready? How idiots track success. Because hits don't count. What happens is the hit counter, depending on the program you use, counts the number of objects on the screen. So let's say I go to your site for the first time, it has 99 pictures, right? It will count 99 pictures plus my visit will be 100 hits. Yeah, right? So what counts is visits. What's even better is unique visits. Do you know the difference? No. I'll give you an example. Let's say, Alex, what's your favorite dish to cook? Anything. Spaghetti?
Steak.
What? Steak? Alex cooks the best steak. Alex says, Victor, come on over. I bring 2 of my friends on Monday. Right? How many visits did he have that day? How many visitors did he have that day? 3. How many unique visitors did he have that day? 3, because we're all unique. We never showed up to his house before. We're all unique, right? So we showed up. Now, I get hungry again on Thursday. I say, Alex, can I come over? He says, sure, Victor, I'm in a generous mood. I come over, I'm coming over with the same 2 people, and I'm also bringing 2 new friends. Now be careful. On Thursday, how many visitors does he have?
5.
How many unique visitors does he have? 2. So now let's look at the whole week. So how many visitors did he have all week?
5.
8.
8, right? There you go. But how many unique visitors?
5.
You got it. Okay? So when I go there the first time, I'm a unique visitor. When I come back again, I'm a visitor. Right? So what we want to know is how many unique visitors we get every day. Because that's important. Unique visitors are important because, guess what? We need to know how many new people are finding our website. Visitors are important because we also need to know how many people are coming back. Absolutely. We need to know how many people are coming back. And these numbers are key. So the next time somebody says, I get 30,000 hits, say, so what? What do we care about? Unique visitors. That's what we care about. Get it? Got it. The myth has been killed. There you go. And by the way, web designers will do this for you. Now, I'm going to go through a lot of this stuff real quick, okay? Determine what product or service you want to sell. And we talked a lot about that already. Describe the product that you want to sell on the internet. Do you know what you want to sell? Service, product. How many people want to sell a service? Product? Okay. Market segment. Do you know who you're selling to? We talked about this already. Who are you selling to? Who are you selling to? Keywords. Have you ever taken time to write down what keywords people would enter into the search engines to find your business? What keywords would they enter? You need to understand what keywords. Later I'm going to show you a tool that allow you to do that. But you need to know what keywords people use to enter. So for example, I'm a speaker, happen to be Hispanic. What other words could they use? Latino. Right. Latino would be another. Spanish speaker or something else. You see what I mean? You need to know all the keywords. Okay? List 3 domain ideas. I always tell people, figure out what your domain name should be. Now here's the tip. Your keyword should always be in your domain name. Listen carefully. The keyword should always be in the domain name. So if you're selling walk, make sure the word walk is in your domain name. Okay? Now the search engine will give you brownie points for that. It'll give you even more brownie points if you put walk at the beginning of the domain name. For example, instead of George's walk, it would be better to say walk by George. It's at the beginning of the domain name. So for those of you who've not registered a website, you need to understand that the search engine really looks for the keywords in the actual domain name. How many of you knew that already? Look around and you're starting to find out why a lot of people are not ranking high. 2, 3 people. Get it? Got it. It's all these little things. It's all these little things that get you ranked high on the search engine. And we talked about a website should have what? One purpose, right? When you come to the website, just one thing. That's all we're talking about. Okay? Now you see this? We talked about the funnel, right? This is exactly what I mean. In other words, you remember we did the teacher thing? We threw the funnel, right? A. And A is the one thing we're selling, right? And then what do we come out the other side of the funnel? All the different products we're going to sell. Okay? DVDs, CDs, books, whatever you want to sell, your consulting services, coaching, so forth and so on. Get it?
So
Okay.
are you saying that each of those services is individual and should have an individual site?
If you're, for example, we talked about the dancer, right?
Yeah.
Remember the dancer? That's it. That was her niche, dancing. Within dancing, she created what? Clothing, events. She was still within that market niche, wasn't she?
Right.
That's what that means. So you're looking at, when you're creating product coming out the other side of the funnel, that's what you're doing. You're creating something within that niche. That's all you're selling. So stay within that niche, go vertical.
I see.
Okay? So again, many product ideas, focus on one, then create multiple products. You see how you flip that? Take multiple ideas you want to do, bring it down to one, and then you fan out and create multiple products. And again, it could be consulting, speaking, whatever it may be. All right? What can you sell on the site? Books. We talked about this. Quote books, how-to books, collaborative books. The easiest book to do is one on quotes. So let's say you have a wok business. You know, you're selling woks to cook food in it. So could I create a book just on quotes about woks? Absolutely. Be easy to find quotes, right? So bam, I got my first book. It's a book on quotes. A collaborative book is that 10 of us agree that we're in the same business. Each of us writes a chapter. A chapter is what? Really an article, just a lengthy one, right? And so all of us get together, we put it in a book form, and guess what we have? A collaborative book. Is that a win-win for everybody?
Yes.
Absolutely, because now all of us have our own books. Are you getting this? Because that's important if you want to position yourself, okay? Now, we talked about that, right? InstantPublisher.com. What you do is you go to the website. Doesn't cost anything to open up the account, okay? $0 to open up the account. And what you do want me to show it to you so you can just see it? Because I need you to, there's one thing I want you to understand about Instant Publisher. You have to download a software, right? You download this software, and then what it does, Instant Publisher, and then what you do, it'll put it in your print file. Now, let me explain this. It'll put it in your print file, so you know how you're going to print a document? You got the options to select the printer? It'll have an Instant Publisher option, and then what it'll do, it'll print it to the actual internet, and it will show it to you so you can see what it's going to look like once it's printed out. And so that's Instant Publisher right there. It's not hard to use. You can log in, look at your different accounts and so forth, but it's very straightforward to use. By the way, I've never really liked their website, but you know, like I said, I've worked on them many years. It's very simple to use. They got basic templates, and here's the pricing. If you don't know how to price this is what I was talking about earlier. I just scroll real quick, and again, it's looking messy because I've blown the screen up too big. You see, that look neater now?
Yeah.
There. And so what you do is you put in the number of pages. I want a 5.5 by 11. I want high gloss enamel. Number of pages 1 to 700. So bam, I put in the number of pages. Enter the number of copies you want. So let's say I got 100 pages. I just want 25. Remember I said 25 was the minimum?
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. And so now I said show the cost. And it runs a calculator for you. What did I do? You did not specify desired color printing. All right, so somewhere up here. Do you want to print any content pages in color? No. If yes, so, okay. So, oh, I got it. I should go black and white. So you click here, and it basically tells your cost. Remember I said about 100 pages? So there it is. Printing cost per book. Okay? Damn, I know. I've been trying to tell people about this stuff. So, all of a sudden, and again, they're very good to work with. You only have to order 25 books. And almost immediately, you can get going on this. Yes?
Let me ask you something. If you have an e-book, can you print it through this website?
Absolutely, but you have to take the e-book and give it to them in, you can probably give it to them in a PDF file. I think you can. I'm almost sure you can. Jack says, yeah, yeah. So you probably can.
Okay, so there's
I've never tried it. I just give them a Word document all the time. But what you do is that, and then they'll tell you what the template should look like, what your page size should be. They tell you all that. And like I said, the first time you use it, it sounds like you're going through a lot of information. Once you start, it's at a click. It keeps a library for you. Like it keeps a copy of, hold on a second. I'll just show you real quickly so you can enjoy this. Isn't that easy? I mean, it's not that hard to use.
So it's really easy if you go back to print more copies of the same book.
Oh yeah, so what I was going to show, for example, here I'll sign in, and I'm going to show you my library.
Wow.
And so to check here's my library of all the books that I have in there, just so you know that I really do it. And so what I do is you can hit reorder anytime.
Wow.
And just the number of copies you need. It's all, my graphics are already loaded, my books are already loaded. Bam. Once it's set up, reorder.
Victor?
Tell me that isn't hot. Isn't that hot? Yeah.
When when you do this, you put your own book. Can you still get it on stores or in Amazon?
Yeah, the thing is, the question is, when you do it this way, can you get it in stores? What you have to do is you have to have your own ISBN. Remember I gave you that Bowker link? Once you have your own ISBN, then Amazon will say, send me 5 to 10 copies, and then you have it in Amazon. And the other thing is, if you don't want to pay for the ISBN, they will provide one for you. Okay? But again, you will not show up as the publisher. Your instant publisher will show up as the publisher. You see the difference?
What is an ISBN?
It's your, you know, look at the back of the book. You got a book? Hold on, no, that one doesn't have it. Hold on. You know the barcode. So the barcode at the back of the book, that's the ISBN number right there, okay? Just a barcode. This basically allows bookstores to track it. And if you go through ISBN, you should have it.
And how do you get a bookstore's attention once you have that?
By the way, Amazon will almost let you just mail it in. There's other strategies for bookstores, how to get into a bookstore, beyond the scope of this conversation, but there are ways. Yeah, these are, by the way, these were done through Instant Publisher, okay? So that's what they look like. I mean, it's a beautiful book, I think. Did you see the brain off? See that? My wife doesn't like this photo. So, yes, right here, then we'll go right there.
The difference between, like, if you don't show up as a publisher, what's like down?
Well, if you want to build like a name recognition of something you want to do, you know what I mean, your company, you know, that's what you want to do. In other words, you have a company. I put everything under Battle Elf Publishing. So that's my publishing company right there. So I just like to have it referred to my site. You go to battleelf.com. It's my information. Okay, if anybody ever asks. So I just want to, it's more marketing for me. Yes?
Just go back 2 steps for me, please. You were talking about keywords and relating to search engine. How do you actually work that so that you have keywords so that...
I'm going to get into all that, okay? And then but don't let me, make sure, you know, when I go through it, don't let me go through it without explaining it. But I'm going to explain everything about keywords, everything that people talk about, keywords, meta tags, alternative tags, all that stuff. I'm going to explain, okay? So anyway, you see how this works? And by the way, fantastic service. That's all I'm saying. By the way, well, I'll show it to you later. I was going to show you something, but I'll show it to you later. All right, let's get back to this one. Let's go back through all this stuff. All right, so we went through some of this stuff already. And you got ebooks already, right? We talked about that. Again, ebooks is powerful. People always want free information. Now, by the way, there's other ebooks that are called executive files. I don't know, executable files. You ever see these things? You download the book and they run like, you know, they do this, the full page. And those are kind of cool too. You can buy ebook programs. I just use a PDF because everybody likes PDF. And there's something about downloading an executable file on your computer that scares people. And there's a lot of, so I don't download executable files. By the way, in case you're wondering what's an executable file, think of having to download a program just to read the book. People get nervous, you know, they see that. And a lot of, if you're downloading from a company or something, their internet or intranet will not allow it. Their firewalls will not allow that to come through, so it limits you yourself. Simple PDF file, okay? Yeah. Audio CD. You can record via your computer. You know, I use something called Acid software where you can actually record, talk into this thing, and then actually add music. It's become so cheap to do it now, and I think I have a resource here that's free. Other software is SoundForge. There's something called Audacity. Audacity, right there, Audacity, Audacity. And you go to download.com, and you type in Audacity, and Audacity. And then, yeah, and then what it'll do is you download Audacity, and it's basically an audio program that will allow you to record and just basically create an MP3 file. And so now, if you want to put MP3 files on your website, there it is. And by the way, it's free. Did I mention that? So you go to download.com. It's easy before I do it. I go to everything for download.com. And then you type in Audacity. Audacity, and you get the free software. The only investment you have to make is to go to Radio Shack or Best Buy and buy your microphone, okay? And then you can record, create an MP3 file. Get it? Good. And then video DVDs, again, do what I'm doing now, video an event, make it high content, and then again, sell your products or services. Again, we already talked about this, so I don't want to belabor the point when it comes to products or services. I think we already know. We can create ebooks, books, I showed you how to publish it. Brochures, you can also sell your consulting services and whatever other service you may want to sell. Get it? Good. All right, now, registering a domain name, I kind of told you how to do that already. Again, this stuff's not hard. Register your domain name. We talked about the program, right? as far as hosting. Now I'm going to show you something that should be ooh-ah for you. The URL is just like my domain. You saw victorgonzalez.com already, right? That's my domain. By the way, I always suggest if you can register your name.com, grab it.
Oh, okay.
Grab it. I think that is a resource. The poor guy who had victorgonzalez.com, his web designer forgot to renew it.
Oh.
And GoDaddy has something called backorder. It's a backorder feature. And so what you do is you pay $18 and you say, monitor these web domains. If they expire, grab them. So I had that one on backorder. It's mine. The guy, yeah, he called me like, or he emailed me like, 2 or 3 days later. Says, hey, I really didn't mean for the domain name to expire. And I said, I feel for you. But I've been waiting 2 years for that domain name. It's mine.
And
yes.
you have automatic renewal.
And I have automatic renewal on there. Good. So you do automatic renewal, so it renews constantly. Can I give you an insider's tip on a domain name?
Yes.
This you're not going to find anywhere. I don't care where you look for it, but I'm telling you, it works. Because when Google filed their patent for their search engine, they had to reveal certain things of how they do searches, right? One of the things that was in there, if you actually took the time to read it, was that if you registered your domain for more than 1 year, it gave you more brownie points in ranking. Damn, yeah, nobody knows that. Unless you read it, you wouldn't know. So when you're going to register a domain name, at least register for at least 2 years. Because what does that tell the search engine? That this is not a site that's here today, gone tomorrow. And so it gives you more brownie points. I don't care, but that one's gold, man. That one is gold, okay? So the reseller program. All right, you guys, here's the big secret. You guys say, Victor, do you really run 22 websites? I'm telling you, absolutely. I'm not even, yeah? Do you know what does it cost to host one website? $5, $10, whatever it is, sometimes 20, right? What if I show you a way to register all the websites you want? There's a limit, though, for $19.99.
Yes.
I only pay one hosting price for 22 websites. $19.99. You know what? I just changed my mind. Since there was no impact on it, I'm not showing it to you. Forget it. That's right. Got to make them beg for the information. Damn it. You want it? I'll give it to you. I'm going to show you how you do this stuff. Man, I'm telling you, this is content we're talking here today. Are you still in shock? Yeah, I know. By the way, this is why I have a lot of friends. Okay, now, this is the one I use called Host Dime. Now, pay attention closely, because this is like sleight of hand magic stuff. All right? Host Dime, like host, 10 cents, dime. Okay? Now, watch this. You go over, and right now, you see this thing called a reseller program? See, that allows you to set yourself up as a hosting company and resell the thing, right? So, man, she's loving the information. Oh, yeah, yeah. Damn, okay. But what happens? What happens? All right, now, listen carefully, listen carefully. What you do is you set yourself up as a hosting company, right? But who are you reselling your own sites to? Right, so what you do is you set yourself up and you come in here. And by the way, what's great about this program, or by the way, some websites offer it, some don't, but it gives you, look at this. So this is what I get 5 gigs of disk space. I get 100 gigs of bandwidth. For those who don't know what that means, that's a lot, okay? And I only pay $19.99. So for the majority of web people who want to use multiple websites, that's what they do. Now, what a lot of people do is that they'll sign up for the reseller program, set themselves up as a hosting company and a web designer, and charge you $20 a month. And what they do is they have one control panel where they run all their websites from. Now, again, you got to get used to using the software to run all your panels. But I can create a domain, bring them up, I can tear somebody down, so forth and so on. I mean, I can do it up, I can upgrade, downgrade the whole bit. Like when I run out of bandwidth, because a lot of people are downloading my videos, I just go in there, change the bandwidth, I'm jacked up again. In other words, that's the total I get, 50 gigs, but I can partition that 50 gig any way I want. I can partition that 70 gig, 700 gig any way I want. So on my high demand sites with the videos, give it more bandwidth. And I can continually move around the bandwidth and traffic. Cool. You had a question.
Yes. You are asking us hosting in a way.
Right.
But that company is the one that have the actual hosting. You don't need to have a server, nothing.
No. The question is this an actual hosting company? Do you need to have a server? No. They host. That's all they do. Big data center. And I think they're in Winter Green Park in Orlando, nearby Orlando. So, by the way, this is just one of many. So go out there and find. There was a question over here. Who had it? Right here.
To back order, VictorGonzalez.com. Where do you go?
If you go to GoDaddy, you'll see an option for back order. So if there's a site that you've been watching, because they'll tell you when the sites expire once you play with the site. And so what you can do is just back order. Okay? Right here.
Do you like this site better than GoDaddy for hosting? Because GoDaddy hosts
I don't use GoDaddy hosting.
Okay.
So if I only had one site and that's all you're going to build,